Beach, Sarasota, Florida. Come on in. You're going to be defending against the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat. What's the cup for?
WrestleMania 3, Pontiac, Michigan. Yeah, 90,000 plus people watching right there. And this is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time, because you'll never get closer than now. I am the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, and I will remain the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. And George the Animal Steel on the outside will be no factor, yeah.
You say no factor. Obviously, he is a factor, or you wouldn't even brought it up.
Oh, wow, Mr. Sarcasm, yeah. I don't care if you got 23 wrestlers around the outside, and it doesn't even matter, no, because I am ready, and I will not let this opportunity slip through my fingers. Cup of coffee, man, yeah. Man! Wow, man!
Say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the distant edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
What's up, everybody? It is Ringtime Pro Wrestling. Keith and Keisha are back at it after a hiatus. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hey, what's going on? Like, I want more enthusiasm in my voice, but then I'll start screaming, and I don't think that's necessary right now. I don't want to freak nobody out. I mean, wouldn't you be freaked out if you just heard random screaming? That's crazy.
Yeah, it probably would go crazy, but hey, man, we are here. We are in the facilities. Ringtime Pro Wrestling is proud to be back. We had a little bit of a hiatus. We probably missed our first ever pay-per-view preview show ever when we were not on hiatus. You know, because we did miss them. We took them 3 months off at a time, but we had some issues and could not do the show, so we just decided to scrap it instead of try to give you a half-ass tired show. So here we are, back a whole week later, 2 weeks later, and it's a lot of stuff to talk about. Pretty much, the elephant in the room is Money in the Bank. So, Keish, we're going to rock and roll, because the show kicks off with the Women's Money in the Bank show. I mean, match, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know how you felt originally, right? I'm going to see how you feel now, because I'm going to tell you right now, my opinions have evolved. It has taken over the course of a week, I have really went all the way around the dial on this thing, right? So let's not even bury the lead. Carmella wins Money in the Bank. She is the first Money in the Bank winner. And mind you, if you follow the tweets of the Ringtime Pro Wrestling Podcast Twitter account, before the match started, I tweeted, hey, think Carmella probably is going to win this thing, right? Now, I did not know how. Did not know how. But, I mean, this is why I say it was logic to me, right? This is how I view Money in the Bank. To me, Money in the Bank is a career launcher, right? Charlotte is, she is putting claim to trying to be the greatest female wrestler of all time in her short career already. She's the LeBron of this. She's already in the next stratosphere. Winning Money in the Bank, I ain't even gonna say it's beneath her, but it's just man, look, she gonna have the title anyway. She is who you chase with Money in the Bank. All right, Natalya just ain't. They not gonna do nothing with Natalya. I think she's gonna be a good hand that they use, but I don't think they'll ever put her. I mean, if they do, they'll just put the belt on her. But they've shown they're not gonna do her right. Okay, Becky Lynch was the first round draft pick of SmackDown. I think she's already, proven herself. Tamina, I don't know how they go treat Tamina, right? Tamina falls in this weird category. So the logical piece was left was Carmella. Carmella's the new upstart. She has that heel with her, and I mean, to me, the logic rolled. Unfortunately, they went a different way of doing it. So basically, in the middle of the match, up to this point, excellent match, Keisha. Excellent match. I thought the spots were dead on, and then James Ellsworth gets overly involved, and to the point where not only does he knock people off the ladder, he climbs up, grabs the briefcase physically himself, which has never been done to any Money in the Bank. Like, Money in the Bank has always had, I'm going to say always, there's been interference of Money in the Bank, or in ladder matches, period, right? But no outside person has ever physically went up the ladder and got the briefcase, which I've always wondered what happens if somebody does that and claims it for themselves. But no, Ellsworth claims it for Carmella, and she wins the match. Your thoughts, Keish?
Are you serious, Keith?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
Seriously.
Because I know your opinion, but I'm about to give you some levity and light. Keisha, I will bring to you the beauty of all of this. But go ahead. I need you to.
Yeah, you better. Somebody need to, because let me explain to you how I felt at that moment, okay? Now, I was excited that it started off with the women's Money in the Bank. I was not mad at that. I was actually very proud of that. I was excited for this moment. It was the first women's Money in the Bank match, and I was thoroughly enthused about seeing who was going to win this thing. Now, we both know my distaste for Carmella. I can't stand Carmella. I never could. So, actually, I take that back. I couldn't stand Carmella by herself. Now, when she was with Cass and Enzo, like, that was a whole nother story, okay? She was actually a little bit more appealing. But now, then she went on home, Little World, and it just got really messy. So that's just I'll be all of it. But nonetheless, at the time, I didn't have a winner for this match. I really honestly just wanted to see it. I wasn't really speculating on who I wanted. But, of course, I'm a little biased in life. I was going for Charlotte. So I wasn't mad at Carmella winning. I was mad at how she won. You know, I wouldn't have been angry at Carmella. Okay, let me put it like this. It's been like, whatever. But at the same time, whatever woman won this match, I wouldn't have necessarily been angry at. Had it been that woman to go up that ladder and grab the briefcase. But for the simple fact that it was James Ellsworth with his ugly ass climbing that damn ladder and grabbing the briefcase and dropping it down to Carmella, that pissed me off. It pissed me off because this was the first match of this magnitude this was the first Money in the Bank match for women, period, the end. So I wanted women's involvement. I wanted women. The match was incredible until he got involved. When he began to get involved, that's when it went left. Because for me, no man, period, should have been involved in this match at all. He just took away that moment for every single female in that match, period. Even Carmella herself. And I say that because this was a history-making moment that was interrupted by a man. I have nothing against men. Don't think I'm sexist. Let's just not even get to that point. It ain't that deep. But at the same time, this was a match that was this particular match was specifically for the women in this match. And James Ellsworth's involvement ruined all of it. It ruined all of it. Because once he grabbed that briefcase, I was done. I felt disrespected. I felt offended. I was pissed the fuck off. Because I was just sitting here like, seriously, dude? Really? Did this alien really just climb this ladder to grab this briefcase? Like, are you for real right now? Dude, I felt like James Ellsworth did that for himself as opposed to doing it for Carmella. I don't care who he gave the damn briefcase to. That doesn't matter. What matters is the simple fact that he got involved in the first place. That's what matters. And I swear to you, where was I watching this at the time? At the time, I believe I was still at home, and I was watching it on my laptop or my phone or something, and I wanted to throw it because I was pissed. That was ridiculous. Now, Keith, I commend you on bringing out the beauty in this match. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, I understand all of that. I mean, like I said, the match was incredible up until that moment. That was a horrific ending to it. It sucks. And, like, when we get into the SmackDown recap later, I got a whole nother opinion of that, too. So, I'm going to save that, though. And I'm just going to say this. I can't stand you, James Ellsworth. You make me sick. Like, I really, seriously am just not. I really, honestly, understand Carmella winning. I get it. But if it was her that went up there and climbed that ladder and grabbed that briefcase, I would have a totally different opinion about this whole situation. I mean, I would seriously have an entirely different opinion about this entire situation. But unfortunately, as a woman, I cannot. So, therefore, my opinion still stands, and he sucks dirty balls. Yes, I said it. I don't care. Whatever. That's it for me. I'm done.
Okay. Only 17 minutes. Not bad. Here is what I'll tell you. First, I appreciate the show. Money in the Bank.
Okay,
I mean,
did not know where that
the
came
effort
from.
was there.
Here's the thing. All in all, right? Like I said, it takes a week. All right, like levity. Watch the show 3 times. This is what I'm going to give you. 1. All right. All those feelings you expressed, right, are 100% valid. And I completely, totally understand those feelings. And the reason you have those feelings is the reason why they did what they did. Okay? Everything you feel right now, you are supposed to feel. Everything that everybody felt at that moment, and that venomous hate, and they could not stand them, like the point where you wanted to really beat the shit out of James Ellsworth yourself.
I'm telling you.
To the point where you want to walk up on the street and find him and give him an ass whooping. All those feelings were supposed to happen. What? I hate the existence of James Ellsworth in professional wrestling. I always have. Okay? Keish, that is what he's there for. Right? Like they tried to sympathetic figure and all that. People wasn't buying it. People can't stand him. And one thing in a classic manager, I may not be able to whoop the wrestler. Which in this case, she's a woman, so I definitely can't do it. Because I'm not allowed. We don't do those things in society. But I can whoop that manager. Okay? That feeling is supposed to exist. So all the men can draw their hate to him. All the women can draw their hate to him. I don't think he outshines her. But I think he is the perfect annoyance. He is a heel. What was the worst and most heel thing you could possibly do in that moment? He did it. All right? I think the structure worked how it's supposed to be. 1, that was a trending topic for a few days leading up to SmackDown, right? I would be pressed to see the ratings of SmackDown last week for the Go Home show versus the post pay-per-view show. I would believe there's a spike in viewership. I would believe that you cared more about Carmella, whether it was hate or not. You cared more about her having this briefcase now than you ever would have if she would have got it the right way. Now, I'm not saying you're happy with it, because you're not happy with it, but you care more. Like, you actually, Keish, I listened to you talk about this, right? We've been hosting a show for 6 years. We've been running a website for 6-7 years, right?
Right.
You know, you 100% actually real life care about this. You are emotionally invested. And I think every fan who has dealt with this week, they probably got emotionally invested. And I think that's the point. Like, I think that's why we're here. We're here for you to have those feelings. All your feelings are right. But that's why they did it. Right? Because as long as you still watch, then you're good. Now, they try to right the wrong. Now, I don't know what they're going to do with righting the wrong. And we'll get into that later. Because I feel like you still have to keep it wrong. If that makes sense to you, right? So,
no, it makes sense.
But I think it is the most controversial thing they have done in a very, very long time, right? And a company that generally tries to stay away from controversy, this is the most controversial thing they've done, and I think it has legs. And the day that James Ellsworth gets the shit beat out of him, it is going to be so blockbuster on that network, on that television, because guess what? We all want to do
it. You damn right about that.
We all want to do it. And you know what? I'm going to commend James Ellsworth, Keish, because he embraced the heel life. Have you checked out his social media?
No. God, no.
He comes for everybody. And if you come for him, just be prepared. He's going to strike back. Right? And it ain't always funny. It ain't always the best. But guess what? He is there. He has antagonized every woman on the roster on Raw and SmackDown.
Jesus Christ.
Nia Jax wants to beat him up. And he like, man, look, you on Raw. I don't even care. Like, I mean, this is how he rolling. Now she was reminding him that, hey, at least 4 times a year I will see your punk ass, so you better watch your step. But yeah, that is kind of the level this has reached. So yeah, he on Twitter going at Charlotte, he going at Becky Lynch, he going at Bayley on Twitter. Who goes for Bayley?
Right.
So
that's the last person you need to be going for.
Yeah. I mean, I think everything happens the way it's supposed to, and this guy delivered to us one of the standout heel performances in recent memory. Because guess what? They both sell it. Both of them do what the heel does. They talk the streak. They act like nothing wrong happened. They are clueless to why you are looking at them crazy. And that is how you're supposed to work it. They have zero doubt in their heart that they're right. And really, they know they're wrong, but they are not going to present to other things that they are right. They're not going to introduce any doubt that they are right. And this is how you're supposed to roll. So I appreciate what has been transpired. I am happy to see where this goes because I actually give a damn, right? And I mean, I would have cared who won the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I would have cared if Carmella won. But I would have just... the cash in is going to be so hot and heated, Keish, at some point, because you can't stand them even having it. Also, I appreciate Money in the Bank winners who have done this week. The two winners, and we'll get into all, but they have been showing up at matches with a briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that from time to time. Whether you go cash in or not, tease the cash in. Always tease the cash in. Okay? Stand up at the top of the ramp. Look down. When the champ is in an interview, walk behind him. Tell him I'm watching you. Anytime, any place. I crack you in the head right here. Anytime, any place.
Right.
You got, man, look. That thing should always have this ominous presence. Like, we should always be on edge for the cash in. One of my things, you know how Jericho goes away. I always wanted Jericho to win Money in the Bank. One, I think it's his idea. Two, I feel like Jericho winning Money in the Bank, and the way he goes away on these Fozzy trips and stuff like that, where we don't know when he's going to come back. If he just pops up on Raw one night with the briefcase, and they can keep it secret enough, like, keep it secret enough where he, he flies into another town or something like that, and then they drive him in, or they get him on a private jet, whatever they got to do, and then they sneak him into the arena. Man, the pop that you could get out of that. But, that's me booking. Right now, let's get back to this pay-per-view and finish it up, because we are pretty much going to get through this show, and then we're going to shut it down, because Keith keeps your time. The New Day defeats the Usos for the tag team. Well, they defeat the Usos. They do not win the tag team titles because they win on a fucking count out. Now, Keish.
That was a shit ending. That ending was shit.
That is even more pissed off now than the other one, right? And pissed off because, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it's a pay-per-view.
Exactly.
I feel like you could have ended in a disqualification and still, but because disqualifications work, because this feud is going to continue, right? No problem with this feud. Problem is how we going to get there, because this just sucked.
Yeah, that was awful. Like, I was thoroughly mad. I was like, okay. I was happy about the match. The match was greatness. I was excited about it, even starting. And then they ended it in a damn countout. I was like, who wrote this shit? Like, seriously. Who decided this was the best way to end this match?
I think placement had a lot to do with it too, right? So, I think you might have dug it a little. Yeah, I'm going to say dug it. I would have hated it as much if it just didn't happen immediately after you fucked with my emotions and had me pissed off about this Money in the Bank finish.
Exactly. Right. Like, they shouldn't have done both. They shouldn't have done both, and definitely not right back to back of each other. Like, that was just stupid. So, again, I just wonder who wrote all this and who ordered this pay-per-view. Like, it was... Oh my God, Keith, at this point, I had gave the pay-per-view a D, like off top.
Oh no, I was like, oh shit.
This is just horrific.
I was like, they mailed this in. Like, they literally stopped trying already out the gate.
Right.
That's how I felt. Like, oh my God, they just stopped trying.
Yeah.
But aside from that, Naomi defeats Lana and retains the women's title. Keith,
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. Had that not happened, if Lana would have won that title, I would have turned the pay-per-view off. We wouldn't even be having a show. Like, yeah. I would have never watched. I wouldn't have watched nothing else. Like, I would have been done after that.
Yeah, I figured that'd have been a riot, right? But here's what I'm going to go with the positives. This has got to not be Lana's. I don't know how many matches she has under her belt, right?
1.
I will say this: she had what pay-per-view
1.
matches. As far as pay-per-view matches go,
0.
This is like her second
None.
match, maybe, because I think she wrestled at like a WrestleMania. All I'm saying is this:
This is her second match. And the first one wasn't even a singles match. It was like a 6-man tag or some shit like that. And she had like a whole team of other people around, and she didn't even wrestle. Like
Okay.
she wasn't even in it.
okay. The point is, I'm going to say this: she looked good for having that limited level of experience. Like, she was hitting nice snap suplexes. She was getting in and out of moves. I mean, there's some work that needs to be done. Don't get me wrong. But I can see the athleticism of one CJ Perry. And I think she can, if she wants to really hone this craft, she can be decent enough at it. Because all she has to do is be decent enough, right?
Right.
Because she has the microphone stuff down. So she doesn't have to be like incredible in the ring. Like, she doesn't have to be Charlotte Flair. She just has to be decent. And I think she can pull it off. Will they continue to work with her at this level? And that's the thing. Because, see, the thing is that she is kind of thrust at a very high spot, right? Like, she's on the SmackDown roster. The other women on that roster are very much accomplished in this, and they've had the experience, they had the skill. Let's see what happens. Lana, she's got some work to do, but I wasn't totally appalled. Like, she went out there and wasn't gonna get Naomi hurt. That's the thing about wrestling. Like, you get somebody out there that's just not know what they're doing. Hey, you can get somebody hurt. I love the Fashion Vice. You know I'm old school, so I love Fuji Vice. I like the Fashion Police as it is. Fashion Vice I thought was hilarious.
They're awesome.
They did a lot of odes to some old stuff. The cell phone was property of Paulie. The video cassette was a Coliseum video cassette. Just a lot of old school wrestling stuff I like. Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett make their debut, and Mike Kanellis.
Yeah.
Well, you love her so much you take her name.
Yeah.
This is one that's interesting, Keish. I thought they were supposed to debut on SmackDown this week, but they ended up debuting at the pay-per-view. They are going to be the it couple. That is what's going to be for the company right now. Just understand that's where. Sorry, Ms. and Maurice, you've done a good job, but this is the new it couple.
Right.
They're going to go with Kanellis.
Mike and Maria.
Yeah. Now they're going to do Mike Kanellis because Maria was the one who probably in the WWE is as more famous. She had been with them for a while. She won titles. Like, she's done it all. It's been 7 years.
Who doesn't know
She is
Mike
back.
Bennett?
The idea is that she has the WWE reputation, so he will tread on her reputation. And the idea of him taking her name is interesting enough to have us talking about it, and that's the point. See, some things they're just playing it. Just that's the point. Shout out to all the legends that came out in St. Louis. For those of you who don't know, St. Louis is a very, very, very legendary wrestling town. St. Louis and the Kansas City territory and that area has a lot of history. I think Bob Costas did a documentary called Wrestling at the Chase that you could catch on YouTube. It's like 45 minutes or so. I'd recommend it. But yeah, I mean, those wrestler roots are deep, and it goes back. And you could catch, Bob Orton is from there. Randy Orton's dad. Randy Orton was born there. Harley Race did a lot in that area during his world title runs. So just do a little research on Kansas City and the St. Louis area and wrestling and stuff like that. It's good things to see. They had Bear Viraski out there. They had Sergeant Slaughter. A lot of guys that had AWA ties were there because that territory kind of extends out and came down, in later days. And they ran that area. I want to say that's where like Sean and Marty Jannetty met up and the Rockers were formed in that area. But I digress. I have to look that up. Jinder Mahal successfully defended his title against Randy Orton. Keish, I think this thing is getting some heat. I thought they put together a really good match. Those Singh brothers are perfect. They kind of remind me of J&J Security. Like, that's my most recent comparison.
That's what I was thinking of when I seen them. They just don't have on suit jackets.
Yeah.
They just don't have on suit jackets and ties.
Like, in the heel companion kit, right? There's different guys that are there. And they're perfect. Okay. Like, there's the muscle guy, right? So I'm the heel wrestler. Right. I'm going to need a big guy. I need me a Luke Gallows. I need me a big Cass, a Big Show. I need something. I need something in front of me, right?
Right.
Now, with that big guy, or, I'm Dolph Ziggler and I got Big E. I got to have somebody bigger, stronger, and this is a physical presence. So guys my size don't want to run up, and bigger dudes realize that they got to deal with something before they come up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then there's the little guys. All right. You go totally different. You get you two little stooges. You get you Patterson and Briscoe. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to get, right? You get J&J Security, or you get the Singh brothers. Okay, or something of this effect. Edge had the Edge heads, which were Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, which weren't really little guys, but still kind of served the same purpose. Their job is just to take punishment. They ain't supposed to win. They ain't supposed to whoop the guy. They just supposed to take punishment, right? So that guy got two arms. He's swinging at me, baby. If you get hit with a punch and he get hit with a punch, he ain't got no more arms left, and I'm hitting him now. That's your job. You're supposed to get beat up and let the champ figure out something, and they do it well. And I think Jinder is in a good spot. The presentation of him has been amazing since winning this title. Freaking amazing. The theme song, the entrance, having the different people involved, they are going all out and they are treating this right. And Jinder looks like $1 million. I'm sorry. We can believe whatever we want to believe about how he got there. Dude looks like $1 million. And what's scared? Talking just enough. Right? Like, I'm not putting him as the next Rock or nothing, but he talks. People listen. And he's doing enough. And he's doing enough to get over with the Indian crowd. Like, I see the WWE doing a lot of things for that crowd. And he is carrying the torch. So, that's that match. The Fashion Police defeat the Ascension, who tried to destroy headquarters. And finally, last but not least, Baron Corbin wins the men's Money in the Bank. Keish, any thoughts on Baron winning the Money in the Bank?
Okay, so remember, I don't know if you remember a few months back when we was talking about Baron Corbin, and I said he's going places, and
yeah, I mean, we're both
he's definitely going to be a future champion,
right?
Well, this is him molding into that position, and I'm excited about it. I am not mad by any means at Baron Corbin winning the Money in the Bank at a match, and I am excited that he has the briefcase because I think he's the right person for it. Personally, I'm not saying that there wasn't other men in this match that this wouldn't have worked with, but he's definitely he might not even been my first choice, but I'm definitely excited at the fact that he's the one that has the briefcase. I'm not mad. That match was awesome. That match was awesome from beginning to end, and the fact that he was the one that climbed that ladder and got the briefcase was actually pretty exciting. Like, I must say. So, my thoughts on it, like, I have no problem with it. Personally, for me, that was awesome. You know.
Right.
But some people actually were kind of against it. Oh my God, Baron Corbin, like, why would he win and blah blah blah, and whatever.
Yeah, here's the thing. Young up and comer. Perfect person to have it. AJ Styles does not need the belt. He's already a star. Mega star across the world. Shinsuke Nakamura, better served in feuds. Dolph Ziggler, the vet. Kevin Owens, already a star. Doesn't need the push. Sami Zayn, sympathetic figure who's supposed to be in the match, who also, I have realized, is annoying as fuck, Keish.
Yeah, buddy.
God, Sami Zayn is annoying. Shit.
Sami Zayn is just nerve-wracking.
Like, I watched him just talk on Raw, and he just, like, every time he talks, I'm like, if you don't shut the fuck up, like, I'm gonna beat you up. Like, it is just so, like, ugh. I don't know what's going on, Keish. But, whew. I can't stand Sami Zayn. All right. And I don't know where it comes from. Can't stand it.
It's him.
Absolutely.
That's where it comes from, him.
Absolutely tired of it. Okay. Anyway, let's get to Raw. So Raw happened. We're getting ready for Great Balls of Fire. We still sound stupid, but we're getting ready. Samoa Joe comes out because Roman Reigns is talking. And Roman Reigns is talking about how he's the bad man and he to beat everybody, he gonna whoop everybody's ass, and how he should be number one contender at SummerSlam. Now, I thought it was a decent promo. It felt kind of heelish, but they didn't go all the way in as a heel. I felt the heel in him though, Keish. I felt like the whole, you said you better than everybody. Hell, you talking about retiring the Undertaker, how you retired him. Shit, Keish, don't nobody talk about that. No one, but hey, don't nobody like this dude, right?
No, it's weird with that and him. Like, it's not too weird. It's not like it's far-fetched or anything, because, I mean, folks see him and they're like, oh, God, what the fuck?
Right.
So, I mean, it's not something that no one really disagrees on a whole scale. Like,
right.
It is what it is. I mean, right. I can't really say too much else about it. But,
right. But he talked about everybody he beat, and Samoa Joe was like, hey, man, I know you left a name out the people you asked you whoop, because you can't whoop my ass. And I think Roman Reigns kind of checked Samoa Joe's Samoa card.
Wow.
I mean, at least that's how I took it, because he was kind of like, hey, man, to me, you just Joe. You ain't that Samoa Joe. I ain't listen to that. You just Joe, fool. I said, damn, I didn't know you get Samoa checked. Like, I know you get black checked, but I guess they got it. Did every race do that? Okay. I'm just saying.
What the hell?
I didn't know, man. I didn't know you had a card that you could get pulled with different races. But, okay, so that happened. The Hardy Boys defeat Gallows and Anderson, which, two things I get out of that match. One, we're not done with the Hardys in the tag team title chase, which I thought we were. Two, Damn, what happened to Andrews and Gallows? He's still a top flight team. What the fuck? I don't think they won since like 6 months. I'm just saying.
King, you ain't got no sense. You don't have any sense.
Elias Sampson saw get interrupted by Finn Balor, who defeats Bo Dallas.
Elias Sampson.
Right.
I love Elias Sampson. I know I'm not supposed to, but I don't care.
No, I mean,
he's awesome.
Be who you want to be. Love who you want to love. Bray Wyatt
right about that one.
Seth Rollins after Seth Rollins has his speech. Totally don't understand the feud yet, but I'm going with it. Kira Tozawa defeats TJP. Samoa Joe defeated Roman Reigns in their one-on-one match that was set by Kurt Angle earlier this evening. That we saw the return of Braun Strowman, Keish. What Braun Strowman? I thought Braun was supposed to be out for another 2 or 3 months.
I thought it was supposed to be like a total of 6.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
but you know what?
He's way too early.
Well, you know what? I think what they do is with some injuries, they just hype it that it's going to be a certain amount of time, so you're not looking for the person to come back. And then when the person comes back, you like, oh snap! And this is what it was. And I found out that y'all hate Roman Reigns. And I mean, y'all really fucking hate Roman Reigns. Because he got, Braun Strowman, they cheered when they saw that ambulance pull up. People, I'm like, Braun Strowman, the damn babyface. I'm pretty sure the booking tells me he's supposed to be a heel, but the fans tell me this dude the babyface. Because he is beating the hell out of Roman. And they like, one more time. I'm like, damn.
Right. The fans loved all of it. They were enjoying every single second
for
of it.
real. He did a little thing. Braun did a thing where he threw his hands up and the crowd cheered. And I'm like, oh
yeah.
Shit.
They were like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think that's the one you're supposed to be cheering for. That doesn't sound right. Time out. If you left it up to the crowd, you'll be confused every day. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. So, just to hear them do all of that for him, it was ridiculous. I was confused. I was like, wait a minute. But I don't think that's supposed to happen. Is that not supposed to happen? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
if I see Braun as babyface material.
Yeah, I don't know what he's supposed to be, but it was just interesting to see the treatment. It was like, oh wow, y'all really this is how y'all gonna do this?
Nah, they really can't.
Yeah, so.
Oh. It's funny though. And it's hilarious, but yeah. Okay.
So,
where we at in the Raw?
Maurice appears on Miz TV, which
is
his own set of stuff. Here's the thing: they're altering the Miz. Once again, remember, Mike and Maria are gonna be the new couple. So Miz is going in a different direction, and I think that's where we're gonna start with this. We are going to take Miz and Maurice may go off TV altogether. And both Dallas and Curtis Axel may be more of the sidekicks for Miz. And I think that's where they might go with that.
Oh, you mean like Team Awesome?
I think that's where we're going to have a name.
I mean, okay, so when Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas attacked Dean Ambrose, that is how I saw it. I saw it as, okay, these two guys are always going to be, either the Miz was using them at that very moment and that was it, or these two guys are going to become a new stable with the Miz, and they're going to call themselves by some really retarded name, and it's going to be like the greatest thing ever. I don't know. Like, all I know is it wasn't surprising for me to see them come out of those bears, coming out of that bear costume. I mean, let's just be honest. There had to be something to it, because I remember watching this segment in its entirety, right? Mm-hmm. And when they first showed the bears, and I looked at the bear on the left, I was like, man, he got some real stocky shoulders. Like, I really seriously was like
that bear kind of jacked.
Underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, this bear is a little huge. Like, wait a minute. Like, why is he so, built? That time out. And then, of course, they attacked me, and I was like, oh, that's why he's so built, because he's a wrestler. Like, because he's a wrestler. So I figured, I was like, man, it got to be them, because it was some deep separation between the bear costume and the bear, then the hood and the head to the bear costume. Like, it was just sitting there like looking like, for real. Those people that were actually paying attention would have seen it, but at the same time, you could have overlooked the dude. They got on bear costumes, so. Right. The first thing you might would have been thinking about is, why the hell is there two bears in the ring? But I digress. I'm actually I can honestly tell you from the bottom of my heart and wholeheartedly, with every fiber in my being, that I don't like them breaking up the Miz and Maurice. As much as I hate Maurice talking sometimes, like, the fact that they have been this team for so long has been amazing. And I really don't want them to mess this up by taking her away from him and then, creating BS, because that's the last thing I want to see. Mm. So, if they're going to do it, they need to do it wisely, because I'm telling you, it can go left really fast, and nobody wants to see that.
No, they don't.
So, it is what it is. What happened after that? Because
well,
I got lost in there. So.
Yes, Cesaro and Sheamus defeat Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil. Good shot to Titus Brand getting the tag team title shot. Well, not really a tag team title shot. They got to fight the champions, because we don't do shots anymore.
Yeah.
Nia Jax defeats Sasha Banks via disqualification, because it gets all messy and everybody gets involved. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. Like, Emma came down and decided she wanted to get in Alexa's face, and this, that, and the third, and it was just ridiculous. It was so retarded. I was like, what is all this crap? Well, and what are they doing with Sasha? Like,
I still don't think they know. I guess the biggest story that comes out of the evening is Enzo and Cass finally break up.
Keith, what did I say a few weeks ago on the show when we were talking about who was attacking Enzo?
No, I think we both thought Cass was the logical choice.
We did, and I was like, dude, it gotta be. Okay, so here's the thing, right? When I sat there and watched this unravel, I was sitting there like, oh my God. I literally was just like, oh my God, what a big surprise. Because I was sitting here like, how the hell could y'all not see that it was him attacking him? Like, I was like, there is no way. Even a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, when we found Cass laid out in the back, I was like, he staged this somehow. I don't know how he did it, but he staged that somehow. Like, I don't know how, but we're going to find out. We're going to figure this shit out, because I know it was him. I kept telling myself, you said it, I said it. You know what's funny? I think I knew a couple of people on Facebook that said it. There were actually folks that really seriously did not see this coming. And I was like, how the hell did you not see this coming? Like, seriously. Like, how did you not think that it was him? I mean, if you just take it little bit by little bit, I'll give you one little bit that was a big bit, okay? The fact that he was never around when Enzo was attacked. It was like, how the hell? The first time is understandable, you know? The first time he was attacked, I get it. You know, you ain't gonna be around. The second time he was attacked, I was like, okay, so he missed the attack again. Wow, all right. After the next time, it was like, okay, either he's doing this himself or he's just a really shitty friend. Like, it was one of the two, and I knew it had to be the first, because I'm sitting here like, dude, like, there's no other way this is happening all the time, and you're nowhere to be found when it does. Like, what do you mean? Because all of a sudden Cass just comes in, and he's like, oh, God, Enzo, are you all right? Dude. But I will say this. That promo he cut, though, that cut me deep. You know what I'm saying? And Enzo's voice is annoying as shit. That cut me deep. I was like, God, Cass, did you have to do it like that, though?
Hey, man, he had to get the point across. Hey, man, he was tired. He was tired of the bullshit, and I don't blame him. That's why, like, you know why it was logical to me? Because, like, I'm tired of this little annoying fucker, too.
Yeah. Like, he did Enzo talking. Like, it was ridiculous, the amount of talking that he does. I mean, crazy. So, yeah, Enzo came off as just really damn annoying, you know, most of the time. It was just awful. But I felt like them two, I really don't understand how they got them together as a tag team in the first place. But I always figured that they would separate them because of the simple fact that I personally have always felt like they just work better by themselves. You know, you see them as a tag team, and the one thing I always will have to wonder is, okay, how are they in singles matches? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Not like, oh, I faced this tag team member this week, you faced that one the next week, or later on in the show or whatever, then we face them at a pay-per-view together, like, nothing like that. I mean, like, for real singles competition, because to me, Enzo would be an incredible cruiserweight, you know? He needed to, like, tone down the gimmick a little bit, but I think he might be an incredible cruiserweight. Cass, on the other hand, Cass was going to go places by himself. He's going to win some mid-card title. He's probably going to win the title itself. Like, Cass is going to make something of this whole breakup.
I mean, yeah, I think it's time for him to launch on his own. They probably shouldn't have too much of a feud because, I mean, obviously he's going to beat the hell out of that little dude. As he should.
Right.
As he should. Like, I don't want to confuse anybody thinking, like, I don't think he should.
You ain't got no sense.
No, I'm just saying, because, you know, people be rooting for that shit. They be like, oh, well, I mean, God, he's going to... No, man, I think he should get his face bashed in. He's like 5'7". This dude's 7 foot.
Oh, for Jesus. I'm not dealing with you.
We gotta keep it real.
But the kick to the face at the end, classic. Like, I'm just saying. I thought that was the perfect ending to Raw. Oh, I know nobody else is gonna do this, but I'm gonna do this. Big applause to Corey Graves on the assist. Like, I was sitting here like, oh wait, what he got to say? You know, the things they've been doing with him in this whole storyline has been awesome, personally.
Right.
You know, the sneaking off, the walking off from the announce table, the conversations with the back, talking sideways at the announce table, you know, like when they bring up something specific and he just makes this sideways comment and continues the show. You know, it's like, I think this is awesome. Like, this is a whole nother level for Corey, and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So I was glad when he gave the assist on this whole Cass Enzo situation, because I always had a feeling he knew what was going on, but I never really knew if that was the case. So for him to be like, yeah, I was digging and this, that, and the third, and hey, yeah, thank you, sir.
Investigative report, broadcast journalist. Shouts out Corey Graves.
Right.
With that, we are going to hit our break. We'll be back with the birthdays. We'll be back with the news. And I will reflect on some things. This is wrestling's most ominous 10-year anniversary that they probably would love to forget. Nobody will ever talk about. But we're going to talk about it on Ring Tab because I got an article coming up about it. And, yeah. So we're going to do all of that, right?
Right.
And I will have y'all first Ring Time assignment. All right, we'll be back. So let's hit.
But can it be applied and will it be effective when they take on Williams and Gordy tonight on pay-per-view in less than 1 hour? Be sure to call your local cable company. And right now, let's go. The Dusty Rhodes and the Steiner Brothers.
Make no mistake about it. Dusty Rhodes going on record saying the greatest tag team in the world today are the Steiner Brothers, and you see them live and in color. But let me tell you something, Scotty. Right upon you right now, the great American Bash is coming July. You're talking about the NWA Tag Team Tournament, and you're talking about Dr. Dusty Williams, Terry Gordy saying they're better than you. Who? I don't believe that. Tell me about it, baby. You know, Dusty Rhodes, me and my brother have trained all my life to be the best tag team in the world, to be the best tag team, best wrestlers in the world. And for Dr. Dusty Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy say they're the best, they're going to have to come over here and prove it. Oh, you know that's right. Thing, Dusty. And for them to say the Japanese is better and all this, that's a bunch of bull. My blood, my brother's blood, all these blood here run red, white, and blue. Oh, let me tell you, he's right there. Tell me about it, baby. Oh, my brother's excited. Dr. Dent, Gordy, you want to come over here and prove something to me and my brother? We ain't afraid of no man, walking, crawling, whatever it is. You come over and prove it to us. It's live, it's color, it's WCW, Saturday night. Let's go away from this, baby.
Woohoo! Okay. It is June 23rd, which is a Friday. We're going into Saturday, the 24th. Keish, last week we were supposed to do the show on the 16th.
That's correct.
That would have been crazy. Because last week on the 16th, the Ultimate Warrior, that would have been his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You realize the Ultimate Warrior shares a birthday with Tupac.
Oh, man. I didn't think about that, but now that you brought it up, that's awesome, actually. Like, dang.
I literally had a whole bunch of music and stuff playing like it was going to be crazy. But that did not happen. One day there would be the article of Tupac and the whole gangster rap influence on the Attitude Era and the whole Monday Night Wars. But neither here nor there. Just like there's an article coming on Ric Flair and his influence on Southern hip hop culture and where we are today.
You gonna talk about the No Limit Soldiers?
No. They will not make either article. The No Limit Wrestlers will not.
How can you not talk about the No Limit Wrestlers? Like, come on, Keith.
Okay. In the context of Ric Flair and the Southern thing, it's not that it's more of that those rappers grew up watching Flair, and I think you can see the elements of the Flair persona in them.
Right.
Okay. Talking about the gangster rap influence and stuff like that was more of that popular culture had shifted towards that, right? That was the dominant force of pop culture in America at the time. And wrestling decided to get more serious. Hence the NWO. Hell, man, they saw, like the Wolfpack theme song is gangster shit. Hey, man, they talk about your ass might end up in a body bag. Nigga, this is wrestling? Is this wrestling? We put people in body bags?
Right? Like, that's not normal.
Right, like, man, I just want to watch wrestling. But yeah, so I mean that's but you know, that's happened. But okay, this week's birthdays. So yesterday, Earthquake would have celebrated a birthday. I think Earthquake would have been 54. Well, I said would have. I'm pretty sure Earthquake's dead, but he could be alive.
Yeah.
Earthquake's one of those weird ones that you don't necessarily know because, oh yeah, Earthquake died like 10 years ago. Okay, cool. So, like, I don't, because we're laughing, but I don't like to make people die that should not have died. So that happens. But yeah, so Earthquake would have been 54. Today, the birthdays. One, Eaton Styles, a.k.a. Mrs. Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, celebrates her birthday today. She turns 34. Billy Kay turns, let's see, 1989, 28. You have to count these sometimes. There's no birthdays tomorrow. Layla celebrates her birthday on Sunday. And that's about it. Monday has some birthdays, but we'll deal with that. The news, Keith. So I'm doing about 2 weeks of news, so I'm on backlog. Let's see. So last week we would have been talking, because some of the last week's news is still relevant, and we didn't talk about it, so we'll talk about it. WWE announces they're going to do some live shows in China. I think that's going to be cool. They also released the names for the Mae Young Classic. So, for those who don't know, the WWE is doing an all-women's tournament, and it will be called the Mae Young Classic. And I haven't looked at the list of names yet, Keish. I don't know if you got a chance to look at them. But let's go down the list here, because I don't think there are a lot of ladies from the main roster. Right? Now, I'm very proud. Tessa Blanchard is going to be in the Mae Young Classic. For those of you who don't know, Tessa Blanchard is daughter of Tully Blanchard, one of the original Four Horsemen. She has a lot of wrestling influence. Her stepdad is one Magnum TA. Because, yeah, Magnum, who feuded with Tully, married his old lady later on. The shit that happens in wrestling is crazy. But, yeah, the WWE release of photos. I did not realize Tessa is 21. So, when I met her like 2 years ago, she was 19 in the game and was doing a lot on the indie circuit. Wow. That is crazy. But yeah, it's going to be a 32-woman tournament. and it will join Sarah Logan, Lacey Evans. You'll see a lot of names that you recognize from the indie circuit. This thing is exclusively on the WWE. So yeah, be on the lookout. Abby Lath, who actually is already on the roster. So like a lot of these ladies are on the roster and they've been working through indie. Ladies who've been working in Shimmer and they all, so it's something to watch, right? Also, from last week, Rusev has been cleared for action, so we will see Rusev eventually on TV. Keisha, other news. Today is the 23rd, so you know what that means? Your Netflix account and watch Glow.
Oh, I have already started. I'm in the middle of the first episode now. I actually kind of started it at a time that I shouldn't have started it. But nonetheless, so far it is awesome. It is an awesome show already. I've only seen half of the first episode. So I would suggest watching it. I'm going to finish this out. But I just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, of course I was going to watch Glow. Like, who? If you thought I wasn't, you lost your mind. That's all I'm saying. So, did we give? Wait. What am I doing?
So, I'm gonna watch. I don't know how many episodes it is, but we'll commit to a certain number of episodes. We'll give a little bit of a recap, a little bit of a exchange of ideas. Cool. We'll determine the number of shows that we should watch and recap, and then we'll get that to the fans. So, I have one more thing for the news. Okay, so I read it out there now. I seen a YouTube video of it, but I read an article about it too, and I was like, "What the hell?" Okay, so it is a rumor. Hearing that Bayley's storyline is going to evolve to where she's never kissed a boy, and she's going to have her first kiss at SummerSlam, and the kiss is going to be with Corey Graves. Now I don't know how the hell everything just went that far left, but yeah, that's doesn't happen. I hope they don't do that to Bayley. She don't deserve that. Yeah, like I said, I've heard they are going to play on that innocent thing.
That's not okay.
It's going to be weird. Also, I don't know how Corey Graves' wife feel about that.
Yeah, I'm going to need that not to happen. He has kids at home. Like, seriously. So that is just not okay. Like, I'm just not with it. I'm not with it. Don't do Bayley like that. Can we not do Bayley like that? I love Bayley.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's just kind of lame at best, right?
It's like, that has to be some of the worst writing ever. Like, it sucks. Like, let's just put it, I'm just going to put it in a raw form probably. That sucks. That is awful. That is stupid. Like, come on, man. Bayley is a grown-ass woman. Like, are you serious? Like, come on, y'all. You know what? It would be believable if we didn't see pictures of Bayley. Who is it? No, that's Bayley's fiance now. Like, it would be believable if pictures of Bayley, Bayley was her fiance, would float around on the internet. Like, come on, man. Stop this shit. Like, I just don't understand who comes up with these idiotic ideas. That is just dumb. Like, I repeat it again and again and again and again. Like, I'm blue in the face. Like, it is retarded. Like, I really just don't understand why this is even happening.
Yep.
You talking about something that irked my nerves. Like, I was like, are you for real? Like, who does this? Seriously. Okay. I had to get that out.
Right. Daniel Bryan did an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he talked about possible in-ring return.
No.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, Keish. I was just like, Fucking terrible idea. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna try to add a level of sensitivity to this. One, it has to be hard to do something that you love and to finally get to the pinnacle of it and can't do it anymore. Two, just celebrate the birth of his daughter. You start thinking about life. You start thinking about regrets, and maybe you hoping that maybe one day your daughter can just see you do the thing that you love to do one time. Okay, great. We'll put that in there. But I still think no. Here's my thing, and I don't know if I projected or not, but when you was talking about he was hiding concussions and stuff like that for Bree and all this stuff, and trying to, like, he was trying to trick the doctors and all that stuff so he could pass the medical test. I'm glad he's not in that ring.
Yeah.
And I am glad that now he's talking about he's working on a more ground-based style. He's going to do some of this and some of that. Look, man, I don't want no shell of Daniel Bryan. I don't want him trying to do something that he can't. What I want him to do is just be healthy and live a good life. You see how he's walking around now on SmackDown looking healthy, and you know what I mean? The fans still love him, and everybody appreciate him, and that's what I want to fuck with, right? I do not.
Right.
Here's the thing. I feel as fans sometimes we've been a little bit complicit in the destruction of some of these people. And this is football, this is basketball, this is all kinds of sports. Especially in wrestling and football, gladiator sports in particular. And I don't know, and this is my own personal feeling. I'm not putting this off for anybody else, but I just don't know how I feel. Like sometimes I see some of our legends and they broke down and stuff like that. So if I could prevent that from anybody else, or if we could talk again, I would love to do that. Like I want to see people walking around and looking good, looking like Ricky Steamboat. You know what I mean? I don't want people walking around like crutches, and they gotta do that for the rest of their life because if something happened in the ring or on the field. Like, it just that sets bad with me. So I'm like, no. And the fact that WWE won't touch it with a 10-foot pole, to me, should be news for everybody else. Because they talk about maybe he'll go to New Japan or ROH. I feel like those companies are above that now. And if they listen, I feel like both those companies are too broad and have too much appeal now to be doing that. Like, that's a chitless circuit move. Like, taking a guy that possibly could be concussed and put him out there in the ring, like, that's kind of chitless circuit. I think those companies are too big for that. And I hope I don't see that either. Patrick Kenney, Shane Helms, and Al Snow are all producers that are leaving the Impact Wrestling. As part of a cost-cutting move. People are out here in these streets questioning whether ROH is the number 2 company in the United States. I don't understand why.
Why would they even think about questioning that?
Yeah, what the CEO of ROH got on in an interview and said they was the number 2 company and and people was like, is this true? Is this real? Of course, you morons. TNA don't even do shows no more. Like, they don't even freaking travel. They literally go somewhere and tape 3 months worth of shows in one weekend and then try to put them out. No, they're not the number 2 company. They can't afford to go places. ROH does pay-per-views. They do touring shows around the globe now. They're going over to Europe. They do shows with CMLL, the top company in Mexico. They work with New Japan, the top company in Japan. They are probably one of the top 5 companies in the world right now. That's it. In hilarity news, Vince Russo files an order of protection against Jim Cornette. Wrestling legendary manager Jim Cornette, Vince Russo, former WWE writer. For those of you who have not been living under a wrestling rock, they have had a long-going feud that has intensified as of late over the social media platforms, and I guess Vince Russo is actually scared for his life. Jim Cornette is probably laughing his ass off. So that has happened all simultaneously. This weekend is a somber anniversary of probably the worst weekend in the history of wrestling.
Yeah. I was even reminded of that today.
Yeah, I've got an article coming out revisiting this thing, but it will be called Benoit 10 years later, so be on the lookout for ringtimeprowrestling.com. It'll probably be released in the next 2 days. Yes, the Chris Benoit tragedy was 10 years ago this weekend. It is crazy that we are 10 years removed from that, right? And it's a lot to talk about still because we are all still kind of dealing with it in a way, if you were a fan or was around during that time. And just the idea of, like, how it's been handled. Because I've heard some criticisms of the WWE, but I think they've handled it as the best as you possibly could, right? Considering this. One, this scandal almost brought down the wrestling business. You do understand that? Like, this thing almost literally brought down the business. And this scandal and this thing, this murder, it's not like Jack Swagger did this, right? And no shade to Jack Swagger. But if Jack Swagger did something like this, I can erase Jack Swagger from memory. If I'm the WWE. I can literally show
that would be retarded.
Episodes of SmackDown or whatever with him not in them. Benoit was a fingerprint guy. Like, he, from 1996 to 2007 when he dies, and mind you, this is a 20-year career. He started in like 86. This guy has a body of work that is so embedded in the fabric of what we've done, especially in that glory era of wrestling, of the Attitude era, of that Monday Night War era that we talk about. He's there in both companies. In all three companies, because he works at ECW. There's no amount of editing you could do to get him out of a lot of content, especially when he's the major driving force of a lot of your 2003 and 2004 content. Now, what they do not do, they do not celebrate him. They do not promote him. When they do, they list the champions. They leave his name out. I mean, at first, the first couple of years, they act like he didn't exist. Right? Due to the advent of the WWE Network and this flood of content that's been released, they do. And they still don't acknowledge him per se. But they realized they couldn't just cut him out of everything. So, it's a delicate balance. But it's something we will talk about and discuss, and there will be an article about it. And I just thought I'd bring it up during the show because it's like, wow, man. First of all, 10 years fucking flies. Freaking flies.
Oh, Keith. And it's only just begun.
But, yeah. 10 years. Freaking flies. I think that's all I had for news. So, Keish, SmackDown.
Let's talk about SmackDown.
Okay. So, the show starts off. Everybody's pissed. Everybody wants returning GM Daniel Bryan to do something. Who returns 2 days after Father's Day? Happy Father's Day, Daniel Bryan. He is out here kicking it. New dad, and he's back as a GM. Money in the Bank. Carmella and James Ellsworth come out and they talk their shit. I told you they were unapologetic. They were unsympathetic. All the other ladies are pissed. And that's how the heels are supposed to be. Yeah, that's how the heels are supposed to be. Big E defeats Jimmy Uso in a singles match as that feud is
that
going
was
to continue.
pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, actually. I was all excited about that one.
I think that feud got a lot of legs, right? Now, here's where I kind of find some of the problem with the feud. Not problem, but it's going to be The New Day, I struggle watching them as baby faces because the problem is that as baby faces, they clearly have this 302 advantage that they just have to try to avoid at all costs.
Right. Because you be waiting for one of them to cut in and interfere, but they never do.
Yeah.
Right. You just wait for that one moment. Because remember when they started, they were heels, and they did that stuff.
Right.
But then they kind of gotten away from it because when they turned. So I'm like, well, shit. I think y'all should. It's funny because in my mind I'm like, well, you should still do it, but I know that it's not the right thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Because in my head I'm like, man, well, you should still do it, shit. But I know that they can't. But I mean, it just makes sense. y'all have 3 men out there together. Why the hell do y'all not have these titles? Like, why is there so much, why is there so much to this? Like, but then again, they're not the heels here. So we just gotta let everything go.
Right.
I hate to see what happens when they break the New Day up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
New Day rocks. But I mean, and eventually it's good. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon just because I feel like they need each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that.
But,
So Big E beats, was it Jimmy or Jay? For them to be fraternal twins, they look identical. That's all I'm saying. Like, they're supposed to look different, but they look exactly the damn same. Like, I'm saying, like, y'all shoot that identical and y'all just lying to people. Like, I don't know. I mean, it just, oh my God.
That's how they roll. I think they are an interesting group. I think I like the new Usos. I've always have. And I will see how
the new Usos are awesome.
I've heard them referred to as trap Usos. I don't know how much I like that.
Yeah.
But
I don't like it too much. It depends on who came up with the name. That's all I'm saying. Right. Yes, that does matter, people. That does matter. So, I don't know, but I know I like them. I know that they're awesome. So, that's all the ins and there's no ifs or buts about it after this. I'm just saying their greatness. So, but, oh my God, what happened after that?
Oh,
I'm having the biggest brain fart tonight.
Randy Orton promised to hurt Jinder Mahal, and he ended up eventually getting some measure of that later on, but we'll talk about that later. Should say Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler probably had the match of the night.
Keith, like, I need Dolph to do like a best of 5 series for either him or AJ Styles. Can I have that? Like, can we please? Who do I need to tweet or email or call or whatever to make this match to make this happen? Like,
yeah, you'd have to put something at stake.
Yeah, I know. Which means one of them had to win a title or some shit. Like, but man, it would be awesome. Like, I don't know what it is with Dolph. Dolph is gold. Like, he works so, like, they work so good together. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was, and it's crazy. I've been a fan of Dolph Ziggler for the longest. So, it's a no-brainer to me, but, oh man, that match was awesome. Like, I don't even think I wanted to watch anything else after that, but I know I needed to because I needed to know what happened with my nosy ass. So, and okay. So, Shinsuke beats Dolph Ziggler. Okay. And we see him celebrating the win or whatever. Was this around the time of the Naomi segment with Lana? Or was this like right before that or right after?
Let's say before.
I want to say before.
Yeah.
I really want to say before. And the only reason why I brought that up was because of the simple fact that, to say this, I love Naomi, but I'm going to really need for her not to play this old tough guy thing and always throwing her title on the line. Like, I understand she's a defending champion, right?
Right.
But I'm gonna need her not to be teetotering on losing her belt to somebody like Lana. Like, I can't handle it. Like, I really seriously just can't take that kind of stuff and digest it. Like, please, Naomi, don't trust this. I don't trust this. Like, don't lose your title to Lana on SmackDown because, you know, you just gotta prove a point. Like, no, it's really not that serious. No. I mean, but I think that her walking away will be more of a heel move. And, you know, you can't pull heel moves out the bag, you know, like that, right, unless it's time. And I know they're not going to do that thing with Naomi, so I don't know. I'm just making suggestions here. I'm just airing my grievances because Lord knows I'm done with that. So, okay. Yeah, let's continue.
Kevin Owens and Chad Gable have a very good match also on SmackDown. Chad Gable accepted the open challenge. Apparently, he now lives in Dayton because he was only challenging dudes from Dayton.
Yeah, I'm challenging that too. I'm challenging that too. I was on Twitter and someone had literally just asked about American Alpha, like 2 days before that. So they're like, "Where is American Alpha?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, where are they?" You know, like I literally had just seen that.
Yeah.
It was on Twitter, on Facebook. It was one of the two, like a couple of days ago. So for them to have shown up, for Chad Gable to be the one facing Kevin Owens was different. It was different. So, yeah, there was that too. Oh, man, I'm telling you.
But,
it's getting better.
Yeah. So, let's go down the list. So, Daniel Bryan issues a verdict on the women's Money in the Bank match. He repossesses the briefcase from Carmella after listening to everybody's grievances. And there will be a return match on Tuesday for the Money in the Bank women's briefcase. And James Ellsworth will be banned from ringside.
That's awesome. Because I can't stand his ass.
Okay. Right. So, I think I said the wrong has to stay wrong. And I think Carmella's going to win it again. Jinder Mahal main evented SmackDown with a match against Luke Harper. We saw Baron Corbin tease the cash in. And we also saw Randy Orton come down and beat the hell out of everybody.
Right.
So I now know that feud is not over, which is cool. I appreciate that feud not being over.
No, it's not time yet.
Yeah.
It ain't time yet. It's just heating up.
You know, a lot of times with a title, they do a one-off, and then if you mess around and win the belt or something, then they be like, all right, cool. Let's do the rematch. Oh, you lost the rematch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So. Oh, man.
All right. But
SmackDown is getting interesting because of these storylines, though.
I mean, they have a lot of good evolving storylines that I'm invested in.
They're doing an awesome job.
I've liked SmackDown a little more than Raw for the past few months now, but it's
Yeah,
I definitely think you could invest more into SmackDown. With that being said, Keish, is there anything you would like to add to the show or talk about, or?
Okay, so I'm gonna have this little random wrestling moment. Today I came across a match that I thought was incredibly awesome, and I think it was on Raw. And I have to double check on that, but it was a Raw episode. This was years ago. It was Shawn Michaels versus Shelton Benjamin, and it was like some clips of. Let me see. No, it's very old. I don't know how many years, but I know that it was happening a few years ago. But it was an awesome match, though. I know it was old because JR and King were still commentating. So, like, that's how I know how old this is. But, yeah, I suggest everybody go YouTube that or find it. I don't even know the date for it, to tell the truth. I just know this match happened and it was greatness. So, that's my random wrestling moment for the night. I'm keeping my head in these wrestling streets, and I'm definitely watching Glow because that show was awesome. And I only seen half the first episode, and I know it's awesome. So, I mean, anything to me having to do with wrestling is going to be somewhat awesome. Like, already, just off top. You know, it ain't everything, but it's a lot. So, that's just me. That's that, though. I don't think I have anything else as far as everything else goes. I think everything has been covered.
Yeah, has been covered. I just watched some of the 1997 Royal Rumble with Fake Diesel. And going to chill out, watch some more wrestling, and we'll get you updated a week. Like I said, next week it will be some Glow Talk and a little bit of recap, and we'll chime in and we'll live tweet, and you can follow the rest of the Ring Time Podcast Twitter account, and we'll go with some hashtags for Glow, and we'll go from there. So with that being said, we are out. Peace.
Bye.